Hello everyone, this is CY once again. Thanks for joining me. I have the Timemore Sculptor 078S in white color with me today. This is not my unit, it's a unit that is pre-ordered by my friend, and he's went overseas, so he lent it to me for 2 weeks to play this grinder. So he has already used this Sculptor 078S, and this particular one is meant for espresso and not for filter coffee. So let's do a simple unboxing and then see the build quality of the grinder, and whether I like the features and things like that. And yeah, let's start by doing that. Alright, so let's unbox this. It comes in a really big box, right? Right, really thick foam padding. Right, so this is, as I mentioned just now, this is the white color version. So the whole piece can be taken out. Oh, it's pretty heavy. Wow, okay, this is a quite a hefty grinder. Okay, so this is the cover. It's the cup. Okay, let me get the power cord out. What other accessories it comes with? Come with a blower. Now, if you want to blow out the fine coffee powder, come out with a brush. Come with a brush, and that's pretty much you get in the box. So let's put this back. Put the box aside and then see this coffee grinder. So at the back it looks like a fan. And this reminds me of my fan, right? The cup is actually magnetized. So nice feature. My friend has already started using this, so I can see some of the coffee ground get stuck on the dial. But I believe this can be cleaned by the brush. The inside will get a little bit dirty too. So let me bring you closer to see this grinder. Pretty simplistic in design. The DF83 has come out with the V version as well, so I believe will be slightly bigger than this. So that's the Sculptor 078S. The white color version, I'm not too sure the black comes with this transparent acrylic kind of bin hopper. It's not really a hopper, it's a bin feeder. You can see all the fine coffee powder that's built up inside. This is the magnetic part. Right at the back there's an outlet for the fan. Right, it's an interesting position whereby they place the variable RPM dial. They place it at the back. I wonder why they could have placed it in front, which is easier for us to adjust. Right, so this is the knocker. When you turn this, it's supposed to knock. You can see how it knocked there, right? You push it down, and then there's a spring that push it back, right? So this catch cup is magnetized as well. Right, moving nicely. That's a pretty neat move. The grind adjustment is controlled by the dial over here. According to my friend, his espresso range is usually between 2 to 3. So the other range, maybe let's make an espresso and then a filter coffee based on the espresso burr sets, and then see the taste of it compared to my 98mm SSP and 64mm standard flat burr, and let's compare the taste to see whether this is actually better. On this grinder, it's just a titanium coated flat burr, nothing special. So let's compare this with the filter coffee as well as for the espresso. So let's hook up the power and then see when I turn on this grinder. Let's hook up the power. Okay, so now the power is on. Oh, so this is the on-off button. Quite a big knob. So basically it is a simple push button that you see on the DF, but I think they pay some sort of a sticker over it so that it cover the standard push button, and then now it looks better, slightly better I would say, and also block off the LED light that's probably in that the button comes with. Right, so this is the let me bring it closer to hear the sound. "31B should be upstairs. 31B should be upstairs." So I'll turn on the grinder, you can hear the sound. That is the highest RPM actually. So that's the lowest RPM. Pretty quiet. I think my DF64B is quieter than this. Okay. Right, so let me turn this over. Let's grind some coffee. Okay, I'm actually waiting for my Fima to get heated up. So why not let's try some filter coffee made from this to see whether it actually tastes good even on an espresso set burr. So I'm going to turn. Okay, let me show you. Right, I'm going to adjust this to the coarser side. So remember now we are actually at 2.3. So let's go maybe around 13, and then let's check the grind size. The beans we are trying today is actually the honey processed beans from Yunnan region. It is a very good beans. So I'm just grinding to check the grind setting. Pretty satisfying. Click. Oh, even at grind setting of 13. Oh, okay, I would say that this is on the final side of the filter coffee. So I suppose if I grind maybe at 15 to 16, I should get my regular slightly coarser grind. So I think the grind adjustment does allow you to grind for filter coffee. Let's try all the way to 15 and see the grind setting. Okay, so let's check the grind size. I would say this is effective for filter coffee. So let's make filter coffee on this grinder with espresso set burr first. Okay, the catch cup does, retain quite a bit of coffee if you don't pour out carefully. As you can see, inside there's a bit of fine coffee powder. But with a blower, I suppose you can actually blow the coffee out. Okay, so now let's see the retention on this grinder. Okay, let's dose 18 grams. I'll take 20 grams of coffee. Oops. Let's use a spoon. Okay, 20.2 grams. So let's take out one. 20.1, I think that should be good. Let's transfer to this. 20.1, exactly the same. So now let's pour inside. Oops. You definitely have to keep the cover closed, otherwise the bean can actually jump out. Okay. The button somehow is not as effective as I thought. I sometimes have to press twice to stop the grinder. 20.1, so in fact, there's no retention in this grinder so far. I'm impressed so far. Right, so let's move this grinder aside. Right, let's do the same on my 98mm flat burr grinder. This particular process is from SSB. Okay, 20.1 gram as well. The coffee that I've tasted on this grinder with my ZP6 exhibit high sweetness, a really juicy cup of coffee. .12, so equally good, but just much faster. Of course, at 98mm, it grinds much more efficiently. Right, let's heat up some water and then let's brew 2 cups of coffee. So the one in the shorter cup is from my 98mm flapper SSP. The one taller is from the Timemore Sculptor 078S. Let's see how different the taste is between the two. I should have done one more, but it's not fair. I actually wanted to compare it with the ZP6 to see I can actually get the sweetness from the coffee, but nonetheless, never mind. Let's just try with these two. Let's do the temperature of water at 92 degrees Celsius. In terms of smell, it smells almost the same. However, I think on the grind setting on the 90mm flapper is slightly coarser. However, you can see that the mass on the 90mm, by bringing it closer, you can see it does get a little bit more messy. First pour 50 grams of water. So we're going to start the timer. I'll use this probably 5 seconds later. Another 80 ml. You can see the drawn down is much faster on the 90mm because I grind it slightly coarser. Around 20. The last pour, all the way to 200. So the 98mm has already drawn down completely in about 2 minutes plus, so it's a little bit faster. So I may do a second comparison by grinding slightly finer. Alright, so I think the timing on the Sculptor 078S is perfect. It's about 3 minutes, completely drawn down. There's no mudiness on the bed, so from here you can see that the two grind setting is completely different, so it's a little bit unfair for this test. So I'll probably have to do a second one to grind this slightly finer. Nonetheless, since I've already done the video, so let's try to do a little bit of taste comparison. This is hot. So let's try the coffee. First, from the 98. The aroma is pretty intense, very rich. Sweetness is good. Let me get some water. Okay. I think this is a little bit more slightly over extracted. There's a hint of bitterness at the back, like an apricot kind of bitterness. Sweetness is not as high, but there's still sweetness inside. On the 98mm, definitely is cleaner. I think it's because I grinded coarser, so it extracts less of the astringency at the back. So this is an unfair test, but based on this, I can safely assume that the espresso brew from the Sculptor 078S can actually make filter coffee. Yeah, this is pretty good actually. Right, not too far off from the 98mm SSB. Just that I have to adjust the grind setting to grind slightly coarser on the Sculptor S, 78S. Then it should be a better comparison between the two. But so far, the filtered coffee setting on the espresso Sculptor 78S has been pretty good. Yeah, there's a little bit more cloudiness, but again, this is probably due to the fact that I've grinded a little bit too fine on the Timemore. But the bed show no bumpiness at all. There's no silky bed. Right, this is actually pretty well grinded. There's a little bit of fine powder, but not too much. Okay, so thanks for joining me. This is CY once again. Right, I'll be doing a quick second video on the comparison when I dial in the grinder slightly coarser on the Sculptor to match my setting on my 98mm SSB. Then I'll do a second filtered. Then I'll do after that I'll do an espresso based comparison. So thanks for joining me today. This is one day after Christmas, so wish you happy holiday. And then if you like my video, do remember subscribe to my channels and like my videos. I'll see you very soon in the next video.